Hello everyone and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, a Hopkins County grand jury returned 48 indictments during its October session. The indictments named 36 people. 9 of them were accused of 2 offenses, and 2 individuals were accused of 3 offenses. Charges ranged from burglary, felony drunk driving, fraud, theft, tampering with evidence, evading arrest, and sexual assault and indecency with a child. The Sulphur Springs ISD Fine Arts Department will be putting on a special presentation before this Friday's Wildcats football game in honor of the 130th anniversary of the first time that the Star-Spangled Banner was officially designated as the national anthem by the Naval Academy. All groups in the SSISD Fine Arts Department from elementary on up will be taking part in the celebration. Fine Arts Coordinator Cindy Welch says her goal is to have the entire stadium join in singing the Star-Spangled Banner. She wonders if it'll end up sounding like a train wreck, but hey, it's the thought that counts. Efforts to clean up a massive diesel spill in the Miller Grove area last Thursday evening at Turkey Creek continue and is expected to continue for several more days, according to Hopkins County Fire Chief Andy Inslee. He said a lot of product has been removed from the creek. He said once that's done, other methods of cleanup will be used over the course of several days. The diesel spilled after a 6-inch pipe ruptured in a pipeline, causing diesel to run into Turkey Creek. An estimated 10,048 barrels of diesel were spilled, along with another 14,000 barrels, mostly containing water.
This Saturday, October 12th, will be the first annual Walk and Roll event on Celebration Plaza. What is a Walk and Roll event? Well, let's find out from Clay Pirtle and Victoria Smith and Jessica Pope.
Good morning, Clay.
Good morning.
You're visiting us once again, and you're wearing your CARE T-shirt.
Yes.
And what does that stand for?
Well, CARE stands for, it's a care center, and CARE stands for Community, Ability, Recreation, and Energy.
Where is our care center?
Well, we're still in the planning phases and raising money. Hopefully after this event, we'll be able to look at purchasing some land. We had our first event back in April 20th, a concert and a fashion show. And we're putting on the Walk and Roll this Saturday from 11 to 2 downtown at Celebration Plaza.
Okay, well, it sounds pretty joyful, but we're going to find out more about what Walk and Roll is. And who do you have with you? Here's Victoria Smith. I know you.
Yes, you do.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Victoria. How have you come into this care concept?
Well, Clay and I met because we both have children with special abilities and special needs. And so our friendship was formed over that. And so when this idea came to him about providing a care center that would meet the needs of special needs individuals in our community, he reached out to some people he knew that would also be passionate about that and could help feed into what he already saw as his vision and grow it from there. So I've just been a soundboard and a person who can help him make those visions come to life and help out in the community to meet the needs of those that we're so passionate about giving back to.
So when you first heard about it, you were on board.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think it's definitely needed. It's a need that this community has, and there are a lot of families affected by special needs individuals, but there are a lot of families who are not, and so they may not see those needs firsthand and realize what a big need it is, but it really is a big need here in this area.
And we have a population of special needs individuals of many types.
Oh, in all ages.
And we're going to meet another one, and you were here just with us last week. Good morning, Jessica Pope.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm always happy to see you here.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate being here, and thank you for the invite.
You're going to be speaking and present at this Saturday's Walk and Roll.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to be speaking and telling a little bit more about my personal story and how I conquer everything that I deal with as far as physically, being physically disabled. There is a lot of things that people may not know behind the scenes that I deal with on a day-to-day basis, because I just don't speak about it a lot. So they'll hear a little bit about that and get to hear a little bit more of my personal story on that day. Because
you don't make that the forefront, then people would like to know, and I think that's lovely. You're busy in the community. Tell us about your job.
My job is actually I'm a 211 call specialist for 211 Texas. I'm the lead call specialist, so I have 2 people underneath me, and we actually house out of the Can Hilton building. We have a state contract with the state of Texas through the Health and Human Services, and that's how we're able to provide that service for information and referral to the community and also statewide.
Okay, well, you're very good at that. You're
Thank you
a
very
great
much.
speaker, and you have a ready word for everyone.
Thank you very much.
Now, Clay, the first time that we met, you and Renee Aguilar came in. She has a similar kind of passion about care center.
Renee does. She was, I guess, after I met with Victoria when we first came out with this, through friends, they put us in contact with Renee, and Renee opened me up to a whole nother world, because my daughter Gemma's just 3 years old, and Renee's been taking care of her niece Candy, and I think Candy just turned 40. Yeah, so she opened me up to the older disabled and special needs community, and so we've been closely working. She's kind of taking a back seat right now. She's busy with school and personal things right now, and so but she's on my speed dial, and I talk to her regularly about everything. So, but she really opened me up to that need, even a bigger need, not just for the younger kids, but all the way through adulthood. And that's what we want the care center to follow them from birth, all the way through adulthood and all the way through life.
Well, if I remember correctly, Renee is pursuing education that would put her in position to help more at this care center.
Yes, that's one of her schooling right now is taking up a lot of her time, and she's actually just putting in her application, and I believe it's Vanderbilt. I believe that's the right in Nashville, and she's hoping to go there next year. So we're praying that application gets in and she gets that acceptance letter soon.
The concept of the care center, the actual facility, which does not yet exist, is based on needs of various people.
Yes, we want to be able to, whatever that need may be, if it's help with insurance, if it's respite, if it may be therapy, or where to go for certain therapies. We just want this to be a place where if we can't offer it, we may know someone in the community that can offer what we need, and just be fully inclusive to and not exclude any type of disability or persons.
And another big part of it is offering even just things as simple as recreation for this group. Having a game night or having a dance class, things that special needs population oftentimes doesn't get to participate in with the general population, and that we feel like that's something we're passionate about, breaking down that barrier where the care center would not exist to only include special needs individuals, but also their families and the community that doesn't have special needs. We would love to invite that community and to include them in these activities with the special needs populations, to where there is no seclusion and it is based on inclusion and joining those groups together.
Well, I bet Jessica's got a million friends.
And I'm sure she does. A big support system, so I'm very, very blessed with a great support system, and they know constantly that I'm thankful for them, and I wouldn't be where I am today without those people, and they know who they are.
Well, whenever you're around, there's kind of a lightening of the atmosphere. I'll have to say that.
Well, thank you.
This coming Saturday downtown, 11 to 2. So the first annual Care Center Walk and Roll. So please describe Walk and Roll.
So the Walk and Roll, we're just going to really want to celebrate. We're encouraging. We have a registration site on getmeregistered.com. You can just search for the Walk and Roll. Registration is free. And we'll have a welcoming that day at 11, a prayer and a national anthem. Jacoby Smith's going to sing her national anthem. Jonathan McGraw is going to do the opening prayer. And then we'll have Jessica's going to speak, and then we have another guest speaker from Orlando, Florida, Diogo Asaki. He has cerebral palsy, and he's coming in to speak. I met him last year in Dallas. And then we'll actually start the walk part. Well, the Blue Blazes, I'm gonna leave them out. They're gonna perform around 11:30, 11:40ish, right in that time range, and they'll also be there volunteering and helping out various activities. Okay. And then we'll start the walk around 11:40, 11:45, and we got 10 teams right now, and so we'll DJ Calvin's gonna be our DJ and kind of MC for the day, and we'll just going to really just a small walk right around the plaza there.
Okay.
And possibly into the streets. We're not sure if the streets are going to be blocked off yet or not. And then we'll have Calvin will be talking a little bit about the team, who if they're walking for a certain individual or just a certain disability, okay. And then kind of highlight them, be celebrating that as they walk. And we have those 10 teams. We'll do kind of one team at a time to just really bring that celebration to them. Then we also we'll have some community booths. We have Shadow Ranch going to be there. ECI is going to be there. Chambers Home Health, Lakes Regional Community Center. And we also have Yoga for the Special Child. I was big into that with Gemma starting that, and I have a lady from Arlington, another practitioner, coming in to head up that booth.
Okay.
Victoria is heading up the dunking booth. She has been really in on that, and she's got 10 what we call local celebrities set up for the dunking booth, and she can talk a little bit about that. We'll have a couple of bounce houses, face painting, maybe a few raffle items, and we're also going to we're excited to have Howdy Homemade Ice Cream. They're out of Dallas, out of Lake Highlands, and they hire special needs individuals in their store. They have one in El Paso and Salt Lake City, and we're bringing, he's donating the ice cream cart. And so I'm going to go up and pick his ice cream cart up, and they're world famous Dr. Pepper homemade chocolate chip ice cream.
Wow!
And so
we'll
have, if you've never tried Howdy Homemade, they have that and just the regular Dr. Pepper ice cream. So.
How did I miss this text? Apparently.
We definitely want to try that out. So we'll go up and get that, and then we'll have some of our individuals serving the ice cream during the day. It's going to be a little cool, but it's great ice cream.
Hey,
so
it's great.
I know some of those that like that Dr. Pepper. I know Bradley Edge, he's talking about Dr. Pepper shakes at Whataburger. You got to come try this Dr. Pepper ice cream.
Well, if somebody wants to ask more questions about the walk and roll, how to get involved, what part anyone might play, how they might help support or bring this.
We have a Facebook page, just Care Center. Sulphur Springs, actually, I think, is on there for the Facebook page. We don't have a web page yet. You can contact me, Clay Pirtle, at 903-243-1614 for more info. And
we also have an event page specifically for the event, and it's called the First Annual Walk and Roll for Disability Awareness.
Okay.
First is number 1 ST, First Annual.
First Annual Walk and Roll for
Disability Awareness.
I wish we had more time. 8:30 is coming up on us pretty quickly. You've mentioned Gemma. She's 3.
Yes.
And are you a stay-at-home dad?
Yes, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I do that and just open up the yoga studio with some more ladies here in town, One Soul Yoga, and so I do that and take care of the kiddos. And
What about you, Victoria?
Jacoby and I, we have 3 children, and our oldest son, Braden, was diagnosed with cancer as a toddler and has since then suffered from several medical conditions, epilepsy, and some other things. And he also has an intellectual disability and is at times in a wheelchair due to the seriousness of his seizures. So we definitely have been met with all aspects of having a special needs child and struggling with, services that are lacking in a small town area due to having disabilities. So it's affected us directly as well.
And that's the whole reason for the concept of the Care Center. And Jessica, we have like 30 seconds. Would you mind if I ask how old you are?
33.
33 years old?
33.
In her career and just enjoying life.
I'm do the best I can. Do the best I can. Obviously, there are some times we all go through struggles. There are some times that I'm down, but I have those that kick me in the rear when I need to be kicked in the rear and say, get back up and try again. So, and that's my motto. I just try to live every day the best that I can and try to impact lives as many people as I can touch with my story, and that's what I want to do going forward.
Okay, well, you already are making an impact. Thank you all very much for coming in and informing us about the walk and roll on this Saturday. There's everything in the world happening in October.
Yes.
But Saturday, kind of middle of the day, 11 to 2. Mm-hmm. And so down on Celebration Plaza. And isn't it wonderful that our plaza is so accessible?
Yes.
It is.
They do a good job of making it useful to our community, and we're grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for coming in. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you.
In sports, on Coordinator Tuesday, Wildcats offensive coordinator Matt Young comments on the offense in the win at Forney last Friday, and he also discusses the Ennis Lions defense the Wildcats will see Friday night at the Prim.
Just really excited for our kids. Those guys put in a ton of work. O-line, we kind of shifted things a little more up-tempo, and the kids really grabbed onto it. We weren't more efficient. I thought our quarterback, Wallace, I thought he made some better decisions. Really confident where he went with the ball. He ended up 15 out of 21, and 3 of those were drops. So 18 out of 21 is really what he was kind of shooting at. So he was confident in what he was doing. I thought the O-line, they did a good job. We had some injuries. Ron Hammonds, Micah Timmons stepped in. Raydon McCormick stepped in at center. He's been guard most of the year. Giovanni Pisano continued to play really well at tackle, and then Sumjai and Leo. Those guys did a great job. They fought all night long. They liked the tempo. They liked seeing the D-line get tired, and they were able to make some big creases at times. And we're still not, we're not dominant in what we're doing, but we're able to make some big plays. I think we had 9 or 10 the other night. We had more than they did. That's usually our goal. We almost doubled them up. So if we're doing those things, that leads to be a good night offensively.
Another thing for defense is to have to plan for. Now, Wallace, a runner.
Yeah, he's always kind of had it in him. It was just good him taking some of the things he took the other night were really him understanding what was going on. You teach it all a certain way, but he actually started seeing it, and that's really good. With Chalk and Caden doing their thing, the ability for him to balance things out the backside really slows down pursuit, really helps some backers hesitate just a little bit, which makes life easier for the offensive line as well.
The defense tends to go with the running backs. That's all they've seen this year.
Yeah.
Best game for Wallace, you think? Coach Owen said he.
Yeah, I mean, as far as decision making and going where he wants to, extremely accurate with the ball. I think that's the biggest kind of shift over that off week is him really just gaining confidence in what he wanted to do. Not that he didn't know, but just that decisiveness in it and delivering. He threw a couple of really good footballs. Hit T-Meyer on a stick route. Even on a 4th down that we didn't convert, he threw a great ball to Sanchez on the cross.
Right in the middle of things when things kind of heated up on us, a great offensive drive. I was very, very impressed. We just ran down the field. I think Davis capped it off with about a 30-yard run.
Yeah, he kind of hit a little different gear. We were kind of rotating backs, and he wanted the ball, and he took it. And if he'll run like that, he'll keep getting the ball more like that. And so it was good to see him, just the physicality and the decisiveness in his runs, how he stuck his foot in the ground and got north. The O-line, that fatigue kind of started setting in and kind of finished them off up front.
I just ran some numbers on Ennis for their first 6 games, and they given up about 225 a game and only 75 yards passing. So they're stout on defense.
Yeah, they're athletic across the board. One thing you look for is who's somebody maybe a little bit weaker that you can target. And after a couple hours of video, offensive staff gets together and they're like crickets. Because there's a lot of good football players. There's not one dominant that you got to say, all right, if we handle him, everything will go okay, kind of like the Roy City nose guard. That's really across the board. All these guys can make plays. They fly to the football. They play angry. They've got great quickness. And so it's going to really be on our game that our guys understand their jobs, that they do it with technique. If they do it sloppy, they'll be made to look foolish.
They have, I believe, had 7 returning starters on defense, so they really had something to work with.
Yeah, it's a lot of names that we had from last year. We pulled out our returning starter sheet, and it's the same guys. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, a little bit better understanding, and we'll have our hands full Friday.
Wildcats defensive coordinator Alex Guetta talks about how the defense played in the 40 win last Friday, and he discusses the Ennis offense that his defenders will be facing this Friday.
Pretty happy, pretty impressed. Kids continue to play fast, and we're extremely coachable.
When Coach Owens started mentioning guys that did a good job on defense, he almost listed the whole defense. He just, and a lot of backups too. A lot of guys played well.
Yeah, they stepped up to the challenge. All year we've been talking about playing hard, getting to the ball, hustle, total defensive team effort, and I think we got that Friday night.
You had to be very pleased. 4 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Had the 4 turnovers, then the onside kick later in the game, and of course, turnovers always help, and we keep preaching over and over that our second, third efforts will create that, and we actually had a couple of great examples of how that happened.
Yeah, the big defense continued to play well, and this one turned out in a win.
Yes, sir. We continue to work and grind and believe in ourselves, and we got the win. We're happy.
I ran some numbers on Ennis today on offense, and they average like 400 a game, and they're very, very balanced, like 193 rushing, 207 passing. So they're hard to prepare for, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're very balanced. Really tough to prepare for, but at the same time, a really well-coached team. You know what they're going to do, and they're always going to do it right. So, I'm not going to say it's an advantage because they're really good, but it allows us to kind of get a good game plan together and see what we need to attack.
Seemed like a lot of their offensive players were younger guys, especially in the line. I think they had a lot of sophomores, and now they're juniors.
Yeah, they were chock full of sophomores last year, and their youth showed. This year they got it all together, and we knew that they were going to be one of the top teams in district with who they had coming back and the talent they had. So we'll just line up and be ready to play.
Last year, I guess the NFL would call their quarterback a bus driver. He really just tried not to make mistakes and just kind of manage the game. They've got a legit quarterback this year, a move-in.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He can throw the ball well. He sees the field. He makes great decisions. Doesn't make too many mistakes. So and he can run. So we got our hands full this week.
Smash mouth kind of approach with them. They kind of like to just run the ball down your throat, don't they?
Yeah, and I imagine they're going to do that. But, of course, we had the second half last week where we kind of stumbled a little with the empty set, and we corrected it, obviously. But I anticipate them doing some of that too. So I think they're good at everything they're doing, and they're coming in with a lot of confidence, so they're going to come right at us.
And, of course, like I mentioned, balance, so they'll probably play action and throw the ball.
Yeah, numbers, looks like about a 60-40, somewhere in there split. But when they throw it, it counts. They make it, make it count. And they're not just picking things. And there's a method to everything they're doing. Their office coordinator and their guys they do a great job. So we just got to be ready to work scheme for scheme and see how these things work.
I know they got several guys can catch the ball, including that quarterback they had last year is now a receiver. But they've got one outstanding receiver, look like.
Yeah, gosh, off the top of my head, I can't remember his name. It's number 7. He is a beast. Number 2 is great also. I mean, they got a few guys, but that guy goes up and gets it, and it's going to be a great challenge for us. We got the sophomore out there that plays well for us defensively. Got a couple seniors on the opposite side, so I'm comfortable with whoever needs playing. We just got to be really smart on and get them some backup and people over the top at certain times.
That's Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. Thanks for watching, and so long, everybody.